So, Friend Zone just did an interview with Adrian's ex-boyfriend. I think his name is Derek. But she was calling him the mystery man the whole time that they were together. So, I'm not really sure how the Friend Zone met up with him. Maybe she messaged him on Facebook or whatever. But she did an interview with him. And I think it's like either 2 or 3 parts. The first part, it looks like they were at a restaurant. And look, if y'all gonna interview people, can that's me. Can you make sure you know how to interview? You know interview techniques. You ask the question and you allow the person that you are interviewing to answer. If you are doing this interview so that the other person can tell their story, then allow them to tell their story. We hear enough of you on your channel every day. We wanted to hear Derek's story. So the friend zone had it set up so that people could call in and ask questions. And instead of allowing Derek to answer the questions, she kept over talking him and answering the questions for him. Then Derek didn't have to be there. He could have just stayed someplace else. And I don't like to compare people when it comes to doing interviews, but I really think that this interview could have been done by somebody else. And I know that the friend zone does not like constructive criticism. I've seen her get with other people on YouTube. She has a I'm not gonna go into that. Um, but yeah, I just think that it could have been conducted differently. I think the interview would have been much better had she allowed him to talk. I mean, Derek seems like a street smart older man. And I think he wanted to tell his story, but he didn't want to come off as disrespectful to friend zone. You know what I mean? And just kind of like tell her to be quiet and let me talk because she kept over talking him, telling him to be quiet. Just like, come on, girl, let the man get his story out. You should have had some questions, asked your questions, let him answer them, and let that be. Derek, you should do your own channel and tell your story the way that you want to tell it. I can really tell he did not want to come on. He just really seems like a true old school dude. Like he don't want to come on and just disrespect Adrian. I can tell that from the way he was talking. And I give him props for that. Because there are some men that would have came on and would have just like legit dogged her out. Because Adrian has, said some things about him that were disrespectful. But he didn't really clown her. You know, he he said what was going on in between the two of them. But the interview the whole thing was just unprofessional. It was ghetto and it was irritating. I wish somebody else had did the interview. Anybody could have did better than that because that was just too much. All right, they still talking. Let me go back and finish watching the rest of it, and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Bye.